joint meeting of the City Council, successor agency to the Redevelopment Agency, Public Finance Authority, Public Utility Authority, the Housing Authority, Paris Joint Powers Authority, and the Paris Community Economic Development Corporation of the City of Paris this Tuesday, March 25th, 2025 at 6:35 p.m. Madam Clerk, can we have roll call, please?
Sure. Councilmember Vallejo? Here. Councilmember Nava?
Present.
Councilmember Corona?
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Ra?
Here.
Mayor Vargas?
Present, thank you. Item 3 is our invocation. If y'all please stand and join us as Father Alfredo Africa from the St. James the Less Roman Catholic Church will lead us in our invocation. Then remain standing for item 4, which is our Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Councilwoman Vallejo.
Let us now put ourselves into the holy presence of God, acknowledging that each one of us is created in the image and likeness of God, and God is present in each one of us. Heavenly Father, Almighty and ever-living God, we come before you with humble hearts, seeking your wisdom and grace as we gather to serve the people of this city. You have entrusted us with the care of this community, and so we ask for your divine guidance in our deliberations, that we may always act with justice, compassion, and integrity. Lord, bless us with the gift of transparency, that our work may reflect honesty and truth, and that our decisions may inspire trust among those we serve. Keep us ever mindful that leadership is not for personal gain, but for the common good. Grant us a spirit of collaboration, that we may work together with open hearts and minds, setting aside division in pursuit of the greater good. May our conversations be filled with respect and wisdom, as we seek solutions that uplift all who call this city home. Heavenly Father, as our city grows and the needs of our residents increase, instill in us a sense of urgency, not of haste, but of purpose. Let us not delay in addressing the challenges before us, especially those that impact the most vulnerable. Guide our hands and minds to act with foresight, ensuring that the resolutions we pass today build a stronger, more just future for all. May fairness and justice be the foundation of every decision we make. Help us to remember those who are often forgotten, the poor, the sick, the elderly, the marginalized. We lift up before you especially our migrant brothers and sisters, particularly those who are undocumented, who live in fear and uncertainty, struggling to find security and dignity in this city they now call home. May this government have the courage and compassion to address their needs, to create programs that support them, and to ensure that they are treated with dignity that every human being deserves. Loving Father, as we review and approve resolutions that will shape the future of Paris, may your Holy Spirit enlighten our minds and purify our intentions. May we see each person not as a statistic, but as a soul created in your image. Let our work be a reflection of your will, rooted in love, strengthened by faith, and guided by justice. We entrust this meeting, this city, and all its people, citizens and migrants alike, into your loving hands. May your grace be upon us as we labor for the good of all, and may all that we do give glory to you. We ask this in the name of Jesus Christ, your Son, who lives and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit, God forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen.
Now please join me in saluting the nation's flag. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
Thank you, Father.
D, E, F, and G, and no reportable action was taken on any of it.
Thank you. Item 6 is presentation announcements. We have 3 today. We're going to do the first 2 together, A and B. These were brought to the council by Councilman Corona. This is for 6A is going to be recognition of the Orange Vista High School girls wrestling team. And 6B is for the recognition of the Paris High School wrestling team. So some background overview. This past year was a great success for our girls wrestling programs. We are recognizing students, athletes from 2 high schools, Orange Vista and Paris. These girls demonstrated exemplary resilience and talent in CIF, receiving recognition for their schools, and we're here to honor them with certificates of recognition. For the OVHS, the Orange Vista High School girls wrestling team, was led by Coach Jesus Rivera. You here, Coach? Thank you. OVHS had 4 athletes that qualified for state and finished as the only team in Southern Section with 3 medalists. Among the outstanding individual performances are, I hope I don't ruin your names. Is it Zara? Zara Stewart received state champion, Masters champion, and CIF champion. Now we can play. Good job. Ayana, did I say that right? Ayana Contreras received 5th state, Masters champion, and CIF runner-up. Tiffany Bell was the top 12 state, Masters runner-up, and CIF runner-up. And Yaneli Pulga got Masters qualifier and 7th CIF. The Paris High School girls wrestling team was led by Coach Albert Ibarra. Coach, you here? Very good. Paris High School made history this season as Aurora Gonzalez became the first ever girl wrestling state qualifier for Paris High. Aurora received state qualifier, 4th Masters, and CIF champion. And then Yenzi Sandoval, you hear Yenzi? She received Masters qualifier and 7th CIF. So a big applaud for all our young ladies.
So just want to say that we do have one more that we didn't announce her. I'm not sure what happened, but anyway, she is the only Orange Vista 2-time state placer, Alyssa Guzman. So she took last year she took 7th in state, and this year she took 5th in state, and she was also CIF and Masters, and so she's a lot of accomplishments as well.
Not a proud coach, huh? Thank you for bringing that up too. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go down, the council and I, and we're going to present certificates. We'll go with Orange Vista High School first, and then followed by Paris High School. But we'll all have turns talking afterwards, but I want to give an opportunity for Councilman Corona if he wants to talk now or afterwards, but he is the one that brought this to our attention. So do you want to say anything now, or you want to wait?
I think I'll probably just wait with everybody else.
Okay, very good.
It'll be quick.
So we're gonna step down, girls. We'll call each school separately. We're gonna I'll take a single photo with your certificate, and then you're gonna stand. Our staff will tell you where to stand. You're gonna shake hands with all the council members, and then after the last girl's called up, we'll take a group picture. And parents, if you're here, feel free to come on up and take a picture when we're at that time. Karaoke time. All right. So starting with Orange Vista. I'm up here, take a shot, and then you're going to go hang out shake hands with the rest of our council. So I'm going to read the first one. They're not, where's my staff that did these? They're not individualized for all those different awards, right? They all read the same? Okay. All right, so Orange Vista High School, Certificate of Recognition to Girls Wrestling Team 2024-2025 season. I guess we're giving one just for the school itself. Then, okay, so this is going to be for the school so that you guys can hang it on the wall somewhere. Relax, Coach, you're next. So this one may be known that the mayor and the city council hereby recognize and congratulate the Orange Vista High School girls wrestling team for their exemplary performance throughout the 2024-2025 CIF season. You represented the Inland Empire exceptionally, being the only team in Southern Section with 3 medalists. We applaud you for your hard work and wish you much success in your future seasons. Our first one up will be our coach, Jesus Rivera. Zaira Stewart. Ayana Contreras. Alyssa Guzman. Tiffany Bell. And Yaneli Puga. Next time, stay on this side.
Have you guys scoot over?
Okay, Paris High School. This is a generic one for the office. Paris High School Girls Wrestling Team 2024-25 season. May be known that the mayor and the city council hereby recognize and congratulate the Paris High School Girls Wrestling Team for their exemplary performance throughout the 2024-25 CAF season. You represented the Inland Empire exceptionally, and we wish you much success in the future seasons. Coach, come on up with yours. Albert Ibarra. Aurora Gonzalez. And Yaneli Sandoval. Yenzi Sandoval. We normally don't do this.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah.
Okay, before you leave, girls, ladies, and coaches, we're going to give an opportunity for council to make any comments. Anybody want to speak, please queue in.
I'll go first.
Councilman Corona?
Just big congratulations. I did find out about the success from Coach Flores and your social media pages for your schools and just announcing it and it's just a huge thing for the accomplishments that you all made. I did do high school wrestling. I was at that time league champ at that time, but I think the girls that are here today are way better than going to state. And seeing you with the state patches is just incredible. And to know that we have the best 125 pounder in the whole state of California is going to a school right here in Paris is pretty amazing. And just seeing the accomplishments. Now I do remember there was a time where every wrestling team maybe had one girl, maybe two girls, but the wrestling for girls in the state of California has grown exponentially. It took it very serious. There's full blown tournaments now, and at the schools there's female coaches, just coaching their team. So it is remarkable how much has grown, and we look forward to seeing your accomplishments in the future too. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Nava?
Thank you so much for the opportunity to celebrate you all. I believe it's so fitting that March is Women's History Month and all the big accomplishments you have done so far. We're so proud of you, and please continue to push and work hard and keep following your dreams. And thank you again for the opportunity to take a moment to celebrate all your success so far. Thank you so much.
Mayor Pro Tem Rab?
I just want to echo my colleagues in congratulating both schools and both teams of wrestlers. I want to particularly congratulate the parents who've dedicated their time, energy, and efforts to raising such fine student athletes, and the coaches and administrators and anyone else that's contributed to raising all this talent here in the city of Paris. Just wanted to note, it's interesting that 4 out of the 5 council members are Paris High alumni. And want to give a shout out to Orange Vista too. I really like that orange. It really looks sharp. So just want to congratulate both teams and just keep up the good work.
And Councilwoman Vallejo?
Who run the world? Girls do. That's right. You girls are so strong. You guys are badass women, and I think you guys are all amazing. And being a wrestler, that was pretty stigmatized back in the day, and I like doing those type of sports too. So you girls are awesome. You guys are killing it. if I ever have bullies, I'm gonna call you guys to protect me because I am not a fighter. But really, thank you for setting up the foundation and really being a trailblazer because I know there's many more other girls out there who want to do these sports, and you guys are really setting up the foundation for it. And thank you, coaches, for believing in these strong and powerful women to continue forward and becoming state championships. That's great. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you all again. Coaches, thank you for your service. I know it takes a lot you have families as well and have to stay over and practice. And can all the parents raise your hands that are here, please? Thank you. Also, I know Mayor Pro Tem already mentioned it, but I have to echo that because of a parent of 4 girls, and now I have grandkids, and so it's like a cycle. It's a vicious cycle, by the way, if you don't have grandkids yet. You're going to be doing this all over again. But, you know, that's the backbone to all these athletes and our smart kids and all the things that when we get rewards and awards and what have you, is that behind all these athletes and special award recognitions that students get, it's the parents as well. Because it's you're out there the one that's taking them out all the time. So thank you for making that effort. And the young ladies, congratulations. These are really awesome achievements, and you're putting Paris on the map. So that's awesome. Congratulations. Okay, I know you all have to go do homework, so we're gonna pause a little bit, let you guys go ahead and sneak out if you'd like to sneak out.
I just want to say thank you to all of you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, let's have the coaches speak. I'm sorry. My bad.
Mayor Vargas, I just want to say thank you, council members, everybody that's here. I really appreciate you taking the time, to acknowledge them and their hard work that they're putting in. So from the Orange Vista family, we want to say thank you. And also just to let you guys know, girls are going to do homework, but they're leaving at 3:30 in the morning to go to Virginia to wrestle at nationals.
Oh, wow. All right. Coach?
No, like I said, I wrestled for Paris High School too, Malcolm, 2001. I'm glad that now I have the opportunity to give back to the community. That's one of the things that I want to give back. When I was at Paris, we didn't have a lot of resources, and now I'm here, and I'm a father of 3 girls, and you know what I mean? It's
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I mean, so girls are. So I'm glad that the accomplishments that we got to put Paris on the map, and my job's not done, and I'm going to continue on working hard.
Thank you. Let us know what happens, Coach Rivera. All right, thank you all. Okay, item 6C is presentation of proclamation to designate designate April, the month of April 2025 as Arts, Culture, and Health Month, presented by the City of Paris Public Services Department. This will be given by our Director of Public Services, Sabrina Chavez.
Thank you. Good evening, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council. On behalf of the Public Services Department team, I would like to present a request for your consideration to proclaim April as Arts, Culture, and Health Month. Arts, culture, and health are celebrated on the national, state, and regional and local levels through various initiatives and programs that promote creative expression, cultural heritage, and community well-being. On the national level, we have the National League of Cities in partnership with One Nation, One Project, who launched the Arts for Everybody campaign to demonstrate how participation in the arts can lead to healthier people and healthier communities. California State Legislature passed resolution designating April as Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month, and a statewide arts advocacy organization championing this statewide resolution is California for the Arts, who has established resources for communities to support April as Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month. On the regional level, the city has partnered with Riverside County in celebration of Arts and Cultural Month. We have been working closely with representatives on all levels to align our goals and efforts promoting arts, culture, and health, and representatives are fully supportive of this initiative. I would like to acknowledge Georgia Gempler with the National League of Cities, who wasn't able to make it. We have Miguel Vasquez, Nabi Hassed, and Pachia Shongtua with the County of Riverside, and they are here present with us this evening. On the local level, the City of Paris has approved a public art initiative in 2019 through the establishment of the Public Art Development Impact Fee Fund to support the cultural and artistic resources, visual artwork, performing arts, architectural resources, and the implementation of programming and events that support cultural and artistic outlets. The goal of the arts, culture, and health aim to enhance the quality of life, cultivate an equitable built environment, foster innovation, education, and outreach, make a positive impact on health, support youth expression and creativity, and collaborate with community partnerships and local artists. Among the arts, the city has established the utility box art program, where 20 artworks will be wrapped the utility boxes in downtown Paris and Civic Center. The next phase will encourage school site participation with adjacent utility boxes. We've incorporated art in park projects. We've partnered with the schools to create tile art projects at Enchanted Hills Park and most recently Copper Creek Park. We've partnered with resident artists to create a rock mural at Enchanted Hills Park. And we've partnered with local artists to create an art mural at most recent Copper Creek Park. Last holiday season, we've launched a Christmas tree cheer project, whereas 26 schools participated in the design of wood-carved Christmas trees provided by the city and installed along the medians on Paris Boulevard. The city gathered them at the end of the holiday season, currently storing and will be installing on an annual basis. Upcoming among the arts, we have our Paris Theater Community Workshop scheduled tomorrow, March 26th. We have our Mayor's Art Contest that we'll be promoting in April, an artist mixer that will be scheduled on April 24th, and we'll be securing a professional consultant to develop the Public Arts, Culture, and Health Master Plan. With culture, recognition and celebration of culture is achieved through both the city's historical roots and its present-day contributions. The city has supported various cultural community events through the Community Sponsorship Program and has preserved its rich history incorporated onto interpretive signage along walkways installed at Enchanted Hills Park and most recently at Copper Creek Park. Among the health, we have the Grow Paris initiative established in 2016. Currently, we have 26 gardens completed with 2 in progress. The school gardens and the arts enhance education and promote creativity, allowing students to explore environmental stewardship while engaging in hands-on activities that inspire creativity. The city's health fair is scheduled on April 5th, where we partner with local school districts and community-based organizations to provide valuable resources. Next year, with the consideration of this proclamation, our public services team aims to incorporate arts and culture into this event. Another event in partnership with our local high schools is Empowering Your Mind, scheduled on May 15th. This workshop is designed for high school students, offering them the opportunity to participate in various interactive workshops focused on artistic expression and mental wellness sessions. Now, all these efforts could not be possible without the support of collaborative partnerships. And here, expressing their support is Miguel Vasquez. He's the Health Equity Urban and Regional Planner with the County of Riverside, who would like to express his support. Miguel? And Miguel used to be a former planner here with the City of Paris a few years back, so welcome back.
Thank you, Sabrina. Honorable Mayor, council members, and members of the public, on behalf of the Arts and Health Collective, I am here to speak in support of the Arts, Culture, and Health Proclamation for the month of April. The Arts and Health Collective is a pilot project incubated at the Riverside County Healthy Cities Network HCN for short, which is housed at the Riverside University Health System Public Health. In the past, through the HCN, we encouraged our cities to adopt programs and policies to improve health outcomes. The city of Paris, for example, was one of the first ones to take actions creating initiatives such as Live Well Paris and to adopt a health element into the general plan. As part of the evolution of our work, we identified arts and culture as a natural vehicle to continue to advance healthy cities approaches, now integrated into the HCN 2.0 Arts, Health, and Planning framework. Our inspiration is drawn from projects such as Arts for Everybody, a national project that recently took place in 18 cities across the nation, or energy derives from initiatives like the Arts and Culture Month initiative by the County of Riverside Economic Development Agency. And we are garnering support from organizations like the Riverside Arts Council. The Arts and Health Collective seeks to find opportunities to integrate artists into existing programs, cultivate partnerships, work across sectors, and share art, culture, and health best practices. Your declaration aligns with our purpose. In adopting it, places the city of Paris as a pioneer in our region for integrating health into its efforts to foster arts and culture citywide. We applaud your leadership and we look forward to continuing our collaboration with your amazing staff in seeing the positive health outcomes from this declaration. Thank you for the opportunity to comment.
Thank you. Okay, so Director Chavez, the City Council does recognize that the vibrant arts and culture and health scene has been cultivated by many organizations across the country, including nationally by the National League of Cities in California by California for the Arts, and locally by the County of Riverside. So therefore, be it resolved that I, the Mayor Michael Vargas, and the Paris City Council hereby officially proclaim April as the Arts, Cultural, and Health Month. Together, we will celebrate the vibrant artistic expression, diverse cultural heritage, and the commitment to community well-being that strengthen the spirit of our city and make Paris a wonderful place to live, work, and play. Presented on the 25th day of March, 2025. We will come down now and take a photo and invite our guests from the county as well.
Thank you.
That's why we should stay down. You and I hold. Congratulations, and thank you all our staff members here from our departments. They're very, very helpful. You okay, Tim? All right, anybody want to make any comments, please queue in. I'll start out by thanking our county folks for coming down and all our public services department for all what you do. in this effort for this cultural arts movement that's really happening here in Paris. And Copper Creek is a classic example. It was not our first mural, but my God, that was some beautiful work there. We've even had private sector coming out. Altura Credit Union sponsored a gentleman that came out and did a beautiful blue, mainly blue-colored mural. I'm bragging about it because that's my favorite color. But I also want to thank our industrial logistics partners too, because they're paying into a cultural arts fee diff. And without that, a lot of projects won't be able to be done. We have our beautiful first ever, I believe, monument of Cesar Chavez right across the street in front of the Cesar Chavez Library with two kids with him together. It was cost a lot of money, but didn't cost the taxpayers one penny because of our cultural arts fee. So, and it goes on and on. So we have a great program here in Paris, and I want to just thank staff for all what you do. Nobody's in the queue, so thank you very much. All right. Okay, moving on. Item 7 is our Youth Advisory Committee communications. This report will be given by Kimberly Tai, our president of the Youth Advisory Committee.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, and city staff. My name is Kimberly Tai, and I am honored to serve as the Youth Advisory Committee President. To start, YEC is excited to host another parks cleanup on Saturday, March 29th at 8 a.m. at Skydive Park, where we will be doing some painting, mulching, and power washing. Community service will be provided for youth that participate. Moving forward, our next YEC meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, April 1st from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the council chambers. YEC meetings are open to the public. Also, YEC invites the youth to our next open mic night, scheduled for Friday, April 4th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Our theme will be Easter Spring with an egg hunt activity. Additionally, YEC wants to remind all seniors about the Matlaat Scholarship. The applications are due by Monday, March 31st, 2025. Lastly, YEC wants to remind our peers that the 2025-2026 YEC applications are open and will be closed on Friday, May 30th at 25. As always, YEC wants to remind everyone to stay safe and connected. Follow us on social media at Paris YEC for updates and information about upcoming events. Thank you for your time and continued support.
Thank you, Kimberly. Item 8 is our public comments. This is the time when any member of the public may bring a matter to the attention of the mayor and the city council that is within our jurisdiction and is not listed on our agenda. Madam Clerk, do you have any requests to speak?
No, sir.
All right, moving on to item 9, approval of minutes. 9A is consideration to approve the minutes of the regular joint meeting held on February 25th, 2025 of the city council and all the other entities as listed on our agenda. This time I'll call for a motion. I have a motion by Councilwoman Nava, second by Councilman Corona. Please call the vote.
5-0, motion approved.
Thank you. Item 9B is consideration to approve the minutes of the special joint meeting held on March 6, 2025 with the City Council and all the other entities as listed on our agenda. Call the vote, please. Or I need a motion first. Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Rab, second by Councilman Corona. Call the vote.
Vallejo, Corona, Rab, Vargas, yes. Nava, abstain.
Thank you. Item 10 is consent calendar. Consent calendar items are normally enacted in one motion. The mayor or city council may remove a consent calendar item for a separate action. We will have public comment Does anybody want to pull anything for further discussion or separate vote? Do we have any requests to speak?
No, sir.
Okay, I'm looking for a motion then. 10A all the way through 10L. Have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Rabb, second by Councilman Corona. Please call the vote.
Five oh, motion approved.
Thank you. Okay, council, for our public hearings, which is our next item, 11A through I are basically all annexations. So we'll let staff introduce it, but we won't need to have to go through all these hearings 11 times, or whatever many times it is. They are simple routine annexations. This is going to be introduced by our city engineer, John Perkazimi, for 11A.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. We have Keon Hude with Wilden to present this item before you.
Good evening, Mayor and council members.
Can you bring the microphone up, sir?
Good evening, Mayor and council members. DPR 22-00011 is located south of Ramona Expressway and west of Indian Avenue. As a condition of approval, this project was required to annex into the city's flood control maintenance district and the landscaping maintenance district to pay for benefits and annual costs associated with the property once it's developed. The proposed maximum annual assessment for this project is $116,239.44. On January 14, 2025, council approved the resolution of intent setting the public hearing for March 11, 2025. The public hearing was continued to March 25, 2025. At this time, staff is asking Mayor to conduct the public hearing. Following the public hearing, the city clerk is to open the ballots. There's 2 ballots, 1 per district. If there's no majority protest, then we may consider adopting the resolutions and confirming the annexations.
All right, thank you. We won't have to do that for the rest of those. All right, council, we are waiving the presentation, as I indicated. So do we have any requests to speak on this item, Madam Clerk?
No, sir.
Anybody wishing to speak on this item at this time? All right, hearing and seeing none, I'm going to open up, well, I have to open up officially the public hearing at 7:18, and being that there is nobody wishing to speak, we'll close it at 7:18. And I'll ask for the city clerk to open up the 2 ballots.
City of Paris annexation of DPR 22-00011 to benefit Zone 193, Landscape Maintenance District Number 1. The ballot is marked yes. City of Paris annexation of DPR 22-00011 to benefit Zone 157, Flood Control Maintenance District Number 1. The ballot is marked yes.
Thank you. Okay, council, at this time, I'm looking for a motion on the 2 resolutions. A motion by Mayor Pro Tem Rabb, second by Councilwoman Nava. Please call the vote.
Five oh, motion approved.
Thank you. 11B is consideration to adopt proposed resolution numbers next in order regarding annexation of DPR 22-00008 to the city's maintenance district. DPR 22-0008 is located on the northeast corner of Redlands Avenue and Placencia Avenue. Again, we'll be waiving the staff report or presentation. Council, anybody have any questions or comments? Not, we're going to open up the public hearing at 7:20. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak?
No, sir.
Anybody wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public comment at 7:20. And I'll ask the city clerk to open up the 3 ballots.
City of Paris annexation of DPR 22-00008, Maintenance District Number 84-1. The ballot is marked yes. City of Paris annexation of DPR 22-00008 to benefit Zone 194, Landscape Maintenance District Number 1. The ballot is marked yes. City of Paris annexation of DPR 22-00008 to benefit Zone 158, Flood Control Maintenance District Number 1. The ballot is marked yes.
Thank you. At this time, I'll call for a motion on the 3 ballots. I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Rab. Second by Councilwoman Nava. Please call the vote.
5-0, motion approved.
Thank you. 11C is consideration to adopt proposed resolution numbers next in order regarding annexation of DPR 22-00008 to CFD 2001-3. This is the North Paris Public Safety. We're going to waive this presentation as well. Any comments or questions from the council? Seeing none, I'm going to open up the public hearing at 7:22. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak?
No, sir.
Anybody wishing to speak on this item? Hearing or seeing none, we'll close the public hearing at 7:23. I'll call for a motion on the first resolution. I have a motion by Councilwoman Nava, second by Councilwoman Vallejo. Please call the vote.
By vote, motion approved.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you open up the ballot, please?
Community Facilities, District Number 2001-3, North Paris Public Safety of the City of Paris, Annexation Number 69, Special Tax and Appropriations Limit Election. The ballot is marked yes.
Thank you. At this time, looking for a motion on the second resolution. A motion by Councilman Rab, Mayor Pro Tem Rab, second by Councilwoman Nava. Please call the vote.
By vote, motion approved.
Thank you. 11D is consideration to adopt proposed resolution numbers next in order regarding annexation of DPR 22-00008 to CFD 2018-02. This is the Public Services District. Any council members have any comments or questions? We're going to open up the public hearing at 7:24. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak?
No, sir.
We'll close the public hearing at 7:24. And I'll call for a motion on the first resolution. Motion by Councilwoman Nava, second by Mayor Pro Tem Rab. Please call a vote.
Five oh, motion approved.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, would you please open the ballot?
Community Facilities District Number 2018-02, Public Services District of the City of Paris, Annexation Number 27, Special Tax and Appropriations Limit Election. The ballot is marked yes.
Thank you. At this time, we're looking for a motion on the second resolution. A motion by Mayor Pro Tem Rab, second by Councilman Corona. Please call the vote.
Five oh, motion approved.
Thank you. 11E, consideration to adopt proposed resolution number next in order regarding annexation of CUP 19-05295 to the city's maintenance district. CUP 19-05295 is located at the northwest corner of 4th Street and Navajo Road. The owner is Speedline Fuel. Council, anybody have any questions or comments? Okay, we're going to open up the public hearing at 7:26. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak?
No, sir.
Anybody wishing to speak at this time? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing at 7:26 and ask the city clerk to open up the 3 ballots.
City of Paris annexation of CUP 19-05295, Maintenance District Number 84-1. The ballot is marked yes. City of Paris annexation of CUP 19-05295 to benefit Zone 195, Landscape Maintenance District Number 1. The ballot is marked yes. City of Paris annexation of CUP 19-05295 to benefit Zone 159, Flood Control Maintenance District Number 1. The ballot is marked yes.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, I'm looking for a motion on the 3 ballots, or excuse me, the 3 resolutions. A motion by Mayor Pro Tem Rab, second by Councilman Corona. Please call the vote.
Five oh, motion approved.
Thank you. 11F is consideration to adopt proposed resolution number next in order regarding annexation of CUP 19-05295 to the CFD 1-S. This is the South Paris Public Services District. Anybody in the council have any questions or comments? If not, I'm going to open up the public hearing at 7:28. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak?
No, sir.
Anybody wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing at 7:29. I'll call for a motion on the first resolution. A motion by Councilman Corona, second by Mayor Pro Tem Rab. Please call the vote.
Five oh, motion approved.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, we open up the ballot, please.
Community Facilities District Number 1-S, South Paris Public Services of the City of Paris, Annexation Number 14, Special Tax and Appropriations Limit Election. The ballot is marked yes.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, I'll call for a motion on the second resolution. A motion by Councilwoman Nava, second by Mayor Pro Tem Rab. Please call the vote.
Five oh, motion approved.
Thank you. 11G, consideration to adopt proposed resolution number next in order regarding annexation of DPR 20-00020, this is the Redlands West, to the city's maintenance districts. DPR 20-00020 is located on Redlands Avenue, south of Ryder. Anybody in the council have any questions or comments? Okay, if not, I'm going to open up the public hearing at 7:30. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak?
No, sir.
Anybody wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we will close the public hearing at 7:31. And I'll ask the city clerk to open up the 3 ballots.
City of Paris annexation of DPR 20-00020 to benefit Zone 196, Landscape Maintenance District Number 1. The ballot is marked yes. City of Paris annexation of DPR 20-00020, Maintenance District Number 84-1. The ballot is marked yes. City of Paris annexation of DPR 20-00020 to benefit Zone 160, Flood Control Maintenance District Number 1. The ballot is marked yes.
All right, thank you. At this time, I'm looking for a motion on the 3 resolutions. I have a motion by Councilman Corona, second by Councilwoman Vallejo. Please call the vote.
Five oh, motion approved.
Thank you. 11H, consideration to adopt proposed resolution number next in order regarding the annexation of DPR 20-00020 Redlands West to CFD 2001-3. This is the North Paris Public Safety District. Council, anybody have any comments or questions? Now I'm going to open up the public hearing at 7:33. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak?
No, sir.
Anybody wishing to speak on this item? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we'll close the public hearing at 7:33, and I'll call for a motion on the first resolution. A motion by Mayor Pro Tem Rabb, second by Councilman Corona. Please call the vote.
Five oh, motion approved.
Thank you. All right, this time looking for a motion on the, excuse me, Madam Clerk, if you open up the ballot, please.
Community Facilities District Number 2001-3, North Paris Public Safety of the City of Paris, Annexation Number 70, Special Tax and Appropriations Limit Election. The ballot is marked yes.
All right, thank you. This time I'm calling for a motion on the second resolution. I have a motion by Councilwoman Nava, second by Mayor Pro Tem Rabb. Please call the vote.
Five oh, motion approved.
All right, our last one. 11I, consideration to adopt proposed resolution numbers next in order regarding annexation of DPR 20-00020 Redlands West to the CFD 2018-02 Public Service District. And council, anybody have any comments or questions? Seeing none, we'll open up the public hearing at 7:35. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak?
No, sir.
Anybody wishing to speak at this time? We'll close the public hearing at 7:35, and I'll call for a motion on the first resolution. They need their screens not up yet.
Is it doing?
I have a motion by Councilman Corona, second by Councilwoman Vallejo. Please call the vote.
Five oh, motion approved.
All right, thank you. This time, Madam Clerk, we open up the ballot, please.
Community Facilities District Number 2018-02, Public Services District of the City of Paris, Annexation Number 28, Special Tax and Appropriations Limit Election. The ballot is marked yes.
Very good, thank you. At this time, I'll call for a motion on the second resolution. Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Rabb, second by Councilwoman Nava. Please call the vote.
Five oh, motion approved.
Thank you. Alrighty, 11J, consideration to adopt proposed resolution number next in order and introduce the first reading of proposed ordinance number next in order regarding specific plan amendment 24-05086 and major modification 23-05073. A proposal to consider the following entitlements for a 0.98 acre expansion of the existing Chevron fueling station located at 796 Ramona Expressway in the Paris Valley Commerce Center specific plan. One, the specific plan amendment to change the land use designation of the expansion site from residential R to commercial C and to apply a residential overlay zone to a portion of the property at 855 West Markham Street to offset the loss of a single-family residence. And two, a major modification for the construction of a fueling canopy with 6 CNG and diesel fuel dispensers, a second fueling canopy with 4 hydrogen fuel dispensers. The applicant is Marwan Alabasi from Alabasi Construction. And this is going to be introduced by our Director of Development Services, Mr. Kenneth Fung.
Good evening, Mayor and member of the City Council. This item will be presented by our Senior Planner, Nathan Perez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council for having me here tonight. The item before you is the Chevron Fueling Station Expansion Project, and the applicant is Mr. Marwan Alabasi. Some background information about this project. This project was recommended by the Planning Commission to be approved by the City Council on February 19, 2025, a month ago, and subject to the following modifications. Modification number 1, to update the fueling canopy colors and materials to be modern. 2, add landscaping along the northerly property line to address potential impacts related to noise on the adjacent residential properties. The planning commissioners that voted in support of the project, they mentioned that the addition to compressed natural gas and hydrogen fueling will provide an alternative, cleaner fuel sources for vehicles, reducing dependence on conventional gasoline and thereby lowering emissions. Now going into the project consists of 2 locations. The first location is the fueling expansion site, which is located at 4063 Webster Avenue, which is located at the bottom portion of the slide. And the second project site is the residential overlay zone site located at 855 West Markham Street, which is located on the top portion of the slide. Here's a site photo, which has an existing single-family home, which is proposed to be demolished to facilitate the expansion of the Chevron gas station. Here's a site photo looking north. And here's a site photo of the residential overlay project site. Currently, the applicant is wishing to propose a specific plan amendment to rezone 0.94 acres from residential to commercial to facilitate the Chevron fueling station expansion. And as part of the project, the applicant proposes applying a residential overlay to a portion of the property located at 855 Markham Street, which is depicted in the yellow area. This yellow area is outside the APZ1 zone of the March Airport Compatibility Plan, which prohibits all residential dwelling units. The RO serves a dual purpose. The residential overlay would recognize the caretaker's unit as a single-family residence, and two, offset the loss of a single-family residence, which is being proposed to be demolished, located at the expansion site at 4063 Webster Avenue for compliance with SB 330 to ensure no net loss in residential capacity. Here's the site plan, pretty much showing the expansion area to the existing Chevron. And if you notice, it's actually located behind the convenience store and also the fueling station. Now, the applicant proposes the following: construction of a CNG diesel fueling canopy with 6 fueling dispensers on 3 islands, which is shown on the rectangular red box. Also, the applicant proposes a hydrogen fueling canopy with 4 dispensers on 2 islands, which is shown on the red box. The project will include compressed natural gas, hydrogen equipment that will be enclosed within a walled enclosure. So you won't be able to see all the mechanical equipment, which is adjacent to the vacant portion of the residential property to the north. Also, a decorative masonry wall ranging from 8 to 12 feet in height with heavy landscaping, which is shown on the red arrow, will be installed along the northerly property line for screening and also noise abatement. Here's some typical canopy elevations, and staff will work with the applicant to upgrade these canopies with different colors and materials. And here's the other canopy elevation. As part of the project, public agencies and property owners within 300-foot radius were notified of the project, and staff received comments from RTA, South Coast Air AQMD, and none of their comments raised additional environmental concerns that haven't been already addressed in the MND. The Planning Commission's recommendation to the City Council is adoption of the Mitigated Negative Declaration 2395 and the Mitigation Monitoring and Reporting Program, approval of Major Modification 23-05073 based on the findings and subject to the conditions of approval, and also introduction of the ordinance number, next in order, approving specific plan amendment 24-05086. This concludes my presentation. The applicant's here would like to make a presentation to the council.
Thank you, Nathan. Can you go back one quick slide real quick? No. One slide from the end.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That's the end. Go back one slide. There you go. I'm just kind of curious. You had comments received from RTA and CAQMD, but under that it says RTA had no comments. So what did they send you?
They basically sent some comments that South Coast AQMD stated that both construction and operation emissions exceeded.
Not SQMD, RTA.
Oh, RTA had.
That
no
RTA submitted, you received comments from RTA, but then you said RTA had no comments.
Yeah, so they basically sent us correspondence stating that they had no comments.
The hat, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
sorry about that.
That was just, the comment was no comment.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
All right.
I should have clarified.
That's okay. All right. Council, anybody have any quick questions before we bring the applicant up?
I do, Mayor, if I may.
Cue
Since
in,
we're on the
guys, so we
slide.
can go in order here. Go ahead.
Thank you. Since we are on the slide, I wanted to also address that comment that was made about South Coast Air Quality Management Department. It says that this project exceeded in both the construction and operation. Can I please have a quick question as to staff to verify if that's indeed the fact, or I know in the report it read that the applicant said it was okay. However, this didn't come from the department that said it was not okay.
Yeah, so I would like to refer that over to the environmental consultant of the applicant. She's actually
Okay.
here.
Or I could hold off on that question. I'm not sure how we want to proceed with
We'll
it.
wait till we open up the public hearing.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Councilman Corona, excuse me, Councilwoman Vallejo.
Yeah, I had a quick question. I know in the presentation, I actually just want to clarify, the home that you're trying to demolish, is there someone currently living there?
That's the question that I asked the applicant, and he indicated that nobody was living there. But
Okay.
that's an applicant question.
Okay.
Councilman Corona.
Yes, I wonder if you could go back a couple slides to the map view. Yeah. I wonder if you go back one to the bigger view, or is that the same one? I can't remember. Right there. Okay. So what the plan is to demolish the home, right? But then what we're gonna do is we're gonna extend the property, which I'm not against that part. But now you have a resident north of this who's now closer to a business. Did we ever get a letter from this resident that lives north of the proposed project expansion of support or?
Yeah, so we sent several public hearing notices, and we also circulated the CEQA document, and we never received any correspondence or any phone call from that neighbor. So nobody showed up for the public hearing that was a neighbor adjacent to this project, so there wasn't anybody, attending the public hearing to make public comment.
Okay, thank you.
All right, at this time, we're going to open up the public hearing at 7:47. And the applicant is more than welcome to come up for a brief presentation.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, council members, city engineer, city manager, staff. Thank you for allowing us to present our project. And again, thanks to staff and to Nathan, who did a great job, and John. This project, I'd like to announce that it's the first project in the United States where we have 3 products in one location, open to the public, where we have renewable energy, CNG, which has 0 emission. I know there was comment about AQMD. I don't know exactly what they would say. It's 0 emission. Hydrogen has 0 emission. Renewable diesel has 80% renewable energy and 20% biodiesel and less than 1% fossil fuel. So all these products are clean products and they pass all the state regulation. I have with us here some of the Chevron team that going to be answering any question. We have Scott and Joe, and we also have our consultant with Stantec, anything to do with environmental issues. She's our consultant, Sarah. She'll be coming up in a minute to answer any questions. We also took in consideration the house to the north, and Sarah did some studies for the noise, which I'll have her address that. At the Planning Commission, the 2 issues that they had, and we addressed it with staff, which is the color and the elevation of the canopy. We'll be happy to do whatever staff wants us to do to accommodate. We are actually widening in front of the property to Ultimate. We work with John in engineering, and they're happy with widening the driveway where it doesn't quite line up 100% with Ferguson, but it makes the alignment much better than what's existing right now. So this is our presentation. I'm going to have Sarah come up and join me. And if anybody has any question, we'll be happy to answer.
Very good, thank you. You want to start, Councilwoman Alva?
Thank you. So I'll just repeat my question. I'm still a little bit confused as to them mentioning that this exceeded the emissions, but yet did we receive a letter from them confirming that in fact it did not, or is it just open-ended?
I'm going to let Sarah answer that.
Thank you.
So we were able to, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi,
Thank
nice
you.
to meet you. My name is Sarah Span. I'm a senior principal environmental planner with Santec Consulting Services, and we've been retained to do several of the technical studies in addition to help write the initial study itself. And so our air quality team, which has done dozens of these types of studies, utilize it's called CaliMod, the California Emissions Estimator Model, which is required by South Coast. And the appendix that we provided with the ISM&D did clearly show that the emissions were below the stated thresholds. There was misinterpretation of the report itself, and so our responses basically pointed them back to the report and the tables that clearly outline that the maximum, they were questioning because the ISM&D itself didn't talk about the maximum emissions, but the appendix to the report did. And so we just referred them back to the appendix so they could actually look at the data itself, which is clearly below the maximum thresholds. And in fact, this project is consistent with the state zero emission vehicle standards. It's part of what CARB is trying to promote for the state because of the low emissions. So I believe it was a case of looking at the ISM&D and not digging in deeper into the technical appendices that were attached.
Okay, thank you.
Does that help?
Yes, it does. Is there a way, though, to get them to actually confirm that, in fact, screening tools were used and that they're okay with the project now?
Nathan, did you get comments back from them? They usually do not reply in the affirmative. If they had a problem, that is when they would, if they
would
did not agree with,
continue.
correct. If they did
Okay.
not agree with the response, then we would hear from them again.
Okay, maybe moving forward then for staff, on the staff level, it mentioned basically that the applicant said it was okay. So that's a little bit ambiguous to the public to moving forward, rather than mentioning that there were no further issues or something of that nature. It mentioned that the applicant said it was okay, so therefore that's where it ends.
It's a little more technical than that. Yes,
Right, yeah,
There's a report appended to the document that was prepared by a subject matter expert.
So this clarifies it, but I think that was missed in the staff report as well. And I know the Planning Commission did a really thorough job in vetting this project, so those are all the questions I have for now. Thank you.
All right, Councilman Corona?
Yeah, for a quick question. For confirmation though, and transparency, you're not with a public agency, right? You're with a private?
Correct. We're a consulting firm that specializes in environmental technical documentation. So we're hired by private entities, we're hired by cities, and we're on a qualified list of consultants to perform these types of studies.
Okay. I'm wondering, Nathan, if you could go back a couple slides, or I guess forward. Can't remember where I saw it. Right there. Back. Okay. So SCAQMD, they stated that both construction and operation emissions exceed thresholds, but then I'm hearing that they don't. Is that
What they stated, I can
Go ahead.
Is
Go
that
ahead.
okay?
Yes.
What they stated is that the reporting in the ISM&D only included, and I have their exact quote, only reports the daily average emissions for both construction and operational phases, which could lead to an underestimation of the project's worst-case air quality impacts.
okay?
So they didn't take it a step further to look into the appendix, which actually did provide maximum exceedances, or excuse me, not exceedances, maximum emissions, which are far below thresholds. So we would not be exceeding, and again, the intent of this type of project is really the opposite of, it's to help meet zero emission vehicle goals.
Yeah.
Quick, I do want to just add that when we get a letter from an agency, we do provide a written response back to them. And so that if they don't hear a response, they're satisfied with a response, usually we end there, but we got your feedback and we'll make sure to has one more check for future projects.
Okay. And then for my next question for Mr. Alabasi. With the neighbor to the north, with the new neighbor to the north, and also a neighbor to the east as well, have you personally gone out there and spoke to them?
Actually, I'm sorry. Actually, we did send the letters, and we got the three neighbors to the north. They came to my office, because my office is right there, and my son Ramsey spoke with them. They had no objection. Again, that's what they told us.
Okay.
They actually offered to sell their property to us. I said, we're not expanding anymore.
Okay.
So they had no issue with the project.
Okay, and how about the neighbor to the east?
I think only the three to the north came. The neighbor to the east did not
Okay,
come.
okay. They never wrote you any letter to say like, okay, please write that you're okay with it?
Again, typically, if it's negative, they will. If they're not, if they don't have any objection, they
Okay,
really didn't want to deal with it anymore.
okay. Okay, thank you.
And I like to add another comment. I own the Chevron station currently. We built it in '08. And what we're doing now with alternative fuel, because we've seen the trend, a lot of changes. We lost, in the last 5 years, even before COVID, we lost about 50% of our volume. So we, with partnership with Chevron, we're investing about $20 million in this project. We recognize the changes. So we're going to this trend because we see in the future, the two canopies we have, they're probably going to end up being CNG or some type of alternative. So this is a leading edge of technology, converting the fossil fuel to alternative fuel.
Have you also thought about putting electric power stations there as well, or?
In this
So you can have four types of fuel.
If we do the electric, we are talking to a company now because we own several stations in Paris and Menifee and Riverside County. We're going to add it overall because now there's a lot of programs and grants for it. But it will not be in the alternative fuel because there's really no customers. This one is going to be like a card lock where they come in, they get their fuel and leave.
Gotcha.
Where the electric, you need it to be close to a store because somebody plugs in their vehicle, they need to go in, get a drink, eat. So that site doesn't have a building, so it will not be appropriate in that particular location.
Gotcha. All right, thank you.
All right, I don't see anybody else in the queue. Madam Clerk, do you have any requests to speak from the public?
No, sir.
Anybody wishing to speak at this item? All right, I'm going to close the public hearing at 7:57. Don't go away, Mr. Albalasi. Before you sit down, I need to ask if you're aware of all the conditions of approval that have been imposed on you for this project.
Yes, sir.
Very good. And you agree?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You may sit down. All right, council, if you have no more further questions, comments, I'm going to call for a motion on the
For a comment, brief comment.
yes.
So I definitely appreciate that you're coming in here, Mr. Alabasi, to invest in our city. You know, it's important that we do think about the future, and alternative fuels is very important. You know, I think it brings good energy, clean energy to our city, and kind of diversifies the options that our residents do have. So I am in a support of this, but I am a little bit concerned about the residents to the north. But I do understand that this has to come back for a second reading. Okay, so I'm going to go out and I do trust that you kind of made the effort to do that. And the people who send the letters, I mean, it's not your fault. But I'm gonna just go do my due diligence, and then yeah, I'm in support of for now. Thank you.
All right, I'm calling for a motion on the resolution and the first reading of the ordinance. I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Rab, second by Councilman Corona.
Five oh, motion approved.
Very good, thank you. All right, 12 business items not requiring a public hearing. 12A is consideration to adopt proposed resolution number next in order approving a preliminary official statement and associated documents in connection with the sale of bonds by the Paris Joint Powers Authority associated with CFD number 2021-1, Avion Puente Acacia, and CFD number 2022-1, Willow Bend, to finance certain public facilities and fees. CFD number 2021-1 is located along the west line of DeLines Drive, south of Van Way, and north of Santa Fe Court. Zone 1 of CFD number 2022-1 is located at the southeast corner of Evans Road and Lemon Avenue. in Zone 2 of CFD 2022-1 is located at the northwest corner of East Nuevo Road and Evans Road. This is going to be introduced by Director of Finance, Mr. Matthew Shank.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, tonight we have a brief presentation that'll be provided by Jim Fabian from Fieldman, Rowlap and Associates.
Thanks, Matt. Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. We were here not that long ago, actually on February 25th, for the first action related to this CFD by the City Council. At that point in time, we approved the legal documents required for the issuance of the CFD bonds. We're back tonight for the second time to approve the preliminary official statement, which also includes a continuing disclosure agreement. The preliminary official statement is used by the underwriter to provide information to potential bondholders about the bonds, the risks associated with purchasing the bonds, and provides all the information related to the CFDs that are really the security for the bond issues. So with that, I wanted to go briefly through a presentation that we have presented tonight. Again, CFD 2021-1, 54 units, as we talked about the last time, is part of the CFD. Additionally, we have CFD 2022-1. This is the Ivy Point Willow Bend project that is being marketed by D.R. Horton right now. We actually went out and toured the site today. Very strong demand for the homes. We were out there at the sales office and we saw probably 8 or 10 people coming through and touring the homes, and the progress and momentum of the project is very strong. They probably have a third of the units left, and there's 209 total units there. They also have the Ivy Point project, which is completely sold out. So those two projects will be the underpinning security for the bond issues, the special tax liens that are recorded against those properties. This is the depiction, of the two CFDs. You can see in the yellow, that's the Willow Bend Ivy Point. Down in the purple there is the Avion Point project. Based upon current market conditions, we think we're going to be issuing about $16 million of bonds. That will provide about $14 million for reimbursement to D.R. Horton for the fees and infrastructure that were used to construct the projects and provide the homes. We are looking at, these are non-rated bonds, no underlying rating by S&P. We have a debt service reserve fund equal to 1 year of debt service. We have roughly about a 11-to-1 value to lien, so we have significant value here to the lien of the bonds. We have not to exceed parameters in the resolution of $17 million, 6% not to exceed interest rate, and 1.5% not to exceed underwriter's discount. There'll be 30-year bonds maturing on September 1, 2054. Again, just recapping where we've been, we went to the Ways and Means Committee on February 7th. We came here on February 25th. We started that 60-day validation period that I discussed at the last meeting. We're here tonight with the official statement and the continuing disclosure agreement. The validation proceeding is running its course. It's a 60-day time frame. That'll be done on April 27th, and then the bonds will price sometime in late April and close on right around May 14th. Again, the two documents in front of you for approval are the preliminary official statement, the document used to market the bonds to investors, and then that also contains the continuing disclosure agreement, which outlines the information that will be provided to the bond market every year. Again, we have a resolution of the authority, and then two resolutions of the City Council approving the preliminary official statement and the continuing disclosure agreement. With that, happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Fabian. Council, anybody have any quick questions, comments? Madam Clerk, do you have any requests to speak from the public?
No, sir.
Very good. Then I'm looking for a motion on the three resolutions. I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Rabb, second by Councilwoman Nava. Please call the vote.
5-0, motion approved.
Thank you. 12B, consideration and discussion regarding adding and removing truck routes from the circulation element in compliance with Assembly Bill AB 98. This will be introduced by Director of Development Services, Mr. Kenneth Fung.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. This item will be presented by our Principal Planner, Rafael Garcia.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council. As you indicated, the item before you tonight is a business item regarding truck routes within the circulation element in compliance with Assembly Bill 98. Now, AB 98 is a Assembly bill that was signed into law late last year. It requires cities with high concentrations of warehouses, such as in the city of Paris, to have their truck routes plans updated and adopted by the beginning of next year. The goal of AB 98 is to limit industrial traffic to roadways that are suited to handle such traffic. This includes arterial, collectors, major thoroughfares, and local roads that predominantly serve commercial uses if more than 50% of the properties fronting the road within 1,000 feet are designed for commercial or industrial uses. There is a possibility of a waiver if it can be found that it is impractical to meet the restrictive routes due to unique geographic, economic, or infrastructure-related reasons. Now, staff has been in the process of coordinating with a couple of consultants in order to attempt to meet this requirement. Staff has also reached out to some of the stakeholders in the community and is, as part of this item before you tonight, seeking feedback from the City Council regarding the addition and removal of specific truck routes that we're going to be going over tonight. These are located on Ethan Road, Case Road, Ellis Avenue, San Jacinto Avenue, and Ramona Expressway. Now, the first potential route is on Ethan Road between Getz and Barnett Road. The city approved the removal of this truck route back in 2022. However, the truck route is recommended to be added back in that the city cannot remove a truck route designation without consent from the neighboring jurisdiction. Next is Case Road between Bonnie Drive and Watson, right up against I-215. Staff is recommending that this truck route be included as a truck route in that there was a recent approval of an industrial project at the southwest corner of Watson Road and Case Road. Currently, trucks are not allowed to travel southbound on Case Road towards Ethan Road or westbound on Watson towards Murrieta Road. Next is the removal of Ellis Avenue between McPherson Road and Getz Road. Now, with regards to this, staff is recommending that City Council remove this truck route along Ellis Avenue in that it's predominantly adjacent to residential zone properties and it remains unimproved west of A Street. Now, just for context, A Street is located along the eastern boundary of that MFR 14 zone lot that you see there at the center of the image that you can see as part of the presentation. Next is the removal of Ellis Avenue between the Ellis Realignment Overpass and Sherman Road. Now, staff is recommending that this be removed as it does not meet the required freeway interchange spacing requirements and it's located within a conservation area of the Western Riverside County Multiple Species Habitat Conservation Plan, as well as it's near a floodway. And development in this area is largely restricted. And next is the removal of San Jacinto Avenue between I-215 and Dunlap Drive. Staff recommends the removal of this truck route due to its proximity to residential zone properties, as well as Bob Long Park there along the north side. It should be noted that there are two proposed projects along the south side of San Jacinto Avenue requesting a rezone currently. The rezone would accommodate industrial development that are requesting the use of San Jacinto Avenue as a temporary truck route until the Ellis Interchange Overpass can be completed. Now, finally, the Ramona Expressway between I-215 and Indian Avenue. Staff is requesting feedback from the city council in that truck travel was allowed on this roadway until city council removed this designation back in 2022. Staff has received feedback from the industrial community indicating that there is no signage along I-215 to inform truck drivers that Ramona Expressway is not a designated truck route. With this in mind, this area is largely industrial up to Indian Avenue. Having Ramona Expressway as a truck route from I-215 to Indian Avenue would provide time for truck drivers to correct course and get on a designated truck route. Now, with that said, staff is recommending that City Council discuss and direct staff on the recommended addition and removal of the truck routes. And with this in mind, the city staff can move forward with the technical analysis associated with the traffic study that will be required as part of this, along with the environmental analysis. That concludes the presentation. Staff is available to answer any questions that the members of the City Council or the members of the audience may have pertaining to this item. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rafael. All right, before I cue you guys in, I'm going to call for the public comments first. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak?
Yes, sir. Joseph Edwards,
How many speakers do we have?
2.
Line up, Joseph.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor Vargas, Mayor Pro Tem Rab, and members of the City Council. My name is Joseph Edwards, and I represent the proposed Paris Valley Town Center project at San Jacinto and Redlands Avenue, adjacent to the I-215 freeway. On behalf of Lewis Management, I am here to request the council maintain the truck route designation on San Jacinto Avenue between Interstate 215 and Dunlop Avenue at the city's eastern border. Our team has been working with the city for more than 3 years on this project, which fronts directly on San Jacinto Avenue. We are very far along in the process, thankfully, and having received comments from the city staff, are nearing completion of the draft EIR that we would like to circulate to the public very soon. Throughout the entire time and process, San Jacinto Avenue has always been envisioned as a temporary interim truck route, allowing access for our project to the I-215 freeway. And that was going to be an interim process until such time as the Ellis Avenue improvements are completed. It is our understanding, having heard from staff, that construction on the overpass is scheduled to begin in 2029, with an opening date of 2032, of course, predicated on funding. Our project and surrounding projects have committed tens of millions of dollars to help construct the overpass, which will connect Ellis Avenue and improve overall traffic circulation and connections throughout the city. Additionally, I want to note that under AB 98, which was attached to the staff report, trucks may continue to use a roadway if 50% of the frontage is commercial or industrially zoned, which is the case for the section of San Jacinto Avenue where the Paris Valley Town Center is proposed. As part of tonight's review, the council could also consider restricting trucks on San Jacinto Avenue east of Murrieta Road or east of the Paris Valley storm drain, but maintaining the current interim access on San Jacinto Avenue and Redlands between the freeway and the Paris Valley Channel. I appreciate the council's time and consideration and respectfully request the city council maintain San Jacinto Avenue as a portion of the road as an interim route pending completion of the Ellis Avenue overpass. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jonathan Langford.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council members. My name is Jonathan Langford, and I am part of Paris Property LLC, the landowner of the new Paris property on the southeast corner of Murrieta Road and San Jacinto Avenue. With me tonight is Scott Hildebrandt of Webb Associates, our consultant, in case there is anything the city wishes to discuss in more detail. For background, on February 27th, 2024, City Council was presented with the completed Ellis Avenue Evans Road Extension Project Feasibility Study Report. And at that meeting, City Council recommended moving forward with the Alignment 2B option of the report, which is the extension of Ellis Avenue connecting to San Jacinto Avenue, aligned with Murrieta Road via a bridge overcrossing the I-215 freeway. The report also highlighted that this alignment and the overpass would improve the city's and the region's strategic goals of improved infrastructure and overall traffic circulation and connectivity. This alignment runs through the middle of our property, and we are ready to work with the city to make this happen. As such, we are asking that the city include the Ellis Avenue Evans Road overpass on the updated truck route circulation element in question tonight. We agree that a section of San Jacinto Avenue could be removed as a truck route. However, that section is only east of the Paris Valley storm drain channel to the city boundary at Dunlap Avenue. We ask that until this proposed Ellis Avenue Evans Road overpass is constructed, the truck route designation along San Jacinto fronting our property, which is west of the Paris Valley storm drain channel, is preserved. And as a property owner, preserving access to I-215 is crucial until an alternate route of access is available via the future overpass. We understand the goals of this study and believe that this is a way to ensure the goals are met in a thoughtful way. Thank you, and we appreciate your consideration of these requests.
Thank you. Anybody else?
That is all.
All right, council deliberation, discussion, comments, please cue in. Councilman Corona. That's why I'm gonna get you that little screen.
All right, thank you. For a question for Mr. Fung, with the gentleman that came up here and spoke, with the, I'm not sure where to call it. I guess the southeast corner of the 215 and 4th Street, right? Is that zoned for industrial right now?
No, it's not.
What is it zoned for?
It's currently zoned commercial and then research and development, office, things of that nature right now on the south side.
Okay, and now is the yeah? So I mean, like we're talking about hypotheticals. If their project were to be rezoned, then it would be a problem. But even when that happens, then they still want to use San Jacinto?
That is what they're proposing, to use it until when their project comes to fruition, the request would be.
If it does.
If it comes to fruition.
If it does,
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
So we're talking about hypotheticals over here. Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. I got a question with regards to Ethanak. If we could go back to Ethanak, I'm sorry, who's ever in charge of that? Okay. So I totally understand it. I was here. We've been having some some lively discussions with our neighbors to the south about Ethanak. I totally understand, and I'm an elected official who does respect the law. But this was supported from the judge. It was a ruling before AB 98. So in AB 98 it says, it kind of addresses having to what we're doing here to remove or add truck routes based on their adverse effects on residential communities. But if our residential communities to the north of this are within 1,000 feet away, can't the argument be made that the decision from the judge was ruled before AB 98? And won't that maybe change a little bit?
That's a really good point for us to research, Councilman. The judge did not rely on sensitive receptors and uses like that. The judge relied on a state law that says if two adjacent agencies designate a truck route together, there's like a specific code section, state law section that says then one agency can't unilaterally remove that. Would a judge be receptive to looking at it in light of AB 98 and the fact that this truck route is so close to residential? Maybe. I honestly don't have an answer for you right now. That litigation is open still, even though the city lost on the specific question of undesignating the truck route. There's also CEQA component to it that Menifee has refused to dismiss. They've just left the case open. So if that's something that the council would like us to research and report back on, we can definitely do that. You can table this part of the AB 98 report for now, and we'll bring it back to you.
Okay, thank you. And then we could go to Ramona Expressway as well too. So I think I stated here before, my father was a truck driver, and oftentimes he unfortunately drove on the wrong way because of signage, and sometimes you would fight it, sometimes you would win. Is there that we don't have signage off the 215? Is that what the issue is? Are we not allowed to put it on there since it's not our jurisdiction?
I'm going to defer to our city engineer. There's an exhibit if you want to see highlighting the location of the signs.
Thank you, Kenny.
Rafael, can you bring up the additional slide that we had?
So, Councilman Corona, in response to your question, whether there are signs actually on the freeway restricting truck access, there is no signs at this time.
And are we not allowed to do that? We have to work with Caltrans, or?
That's correct. So we have to, my predecessor actually contacted Caltrans, and he was directed that because this is arterial, it's actually on the state's arterial highways where trucks are allowed to travel on. Therefore, they said if you want to put signs, that would have to go to the state Caltrans office in Sacramento, and he would have to take some action in that regard. Because not only you put signs at the on and off ramps, you have to put notifications along the freeway saying, informing truck drivers that they cannot access Ramona Expressway east of the freeway. So it was not pursued.
Okay. I think it is important that we do let the truck drivers know. I mean, all they're doing is following Google Maps or following their directions of trying to go the quickest route for them to make their delivery. So I'm not going to fault them for that. But I'm also not ready to give up on the section because my concern is that we're going to have a lot of trucks competing with the cars. Now, we have Harley Knox to the north. Now we also have Placencia to the south. So there's plenty of opportunities and plenty of options for our trucks to make the routes without using Ramona Expressway. So I'm not sure. Is it time for comments or just questions right now?
No.
Okay. So I'm not comfortable with removing this as a let me think of designating this as a truck route for the safety of our residents. I think we do need to have more signage, work with our state as necessary. I don't think any portion, for this part, should be okay.
So currently what happens, trucks do exit the freeway.
Right.
And however, we have signage at Webster, so we don't allow them to go any further than Webster.
Okay, so then they have to make a left or right?
Well, it would have to be a right.
It has
A
to be
left,
right.
because on the left, we have residential units to the north of Ramona Expressway.
You are correct on that. Yes, you are. Okay. And then, so they'd have to go all the way to?
So they have to go south, basically
South,
towards
and then
Webster, or go around.
go all the way to Indian, yeah. But I think we do need to do a better job of having more signage from the freeway. But, I can't imagine that they would even want to take this route, but, if their Google Maps is telling them to do it, then I understand. So I'm not ready to add this to our truck routes. On Ethanak, if we could get more direction on that one, because I'm kind of curious to know about that. And if the law says, we got to, I'll respect that. And that's all the comments I have. Thank you.
All right, nobody else is in the queue. I'll mention Mike. So I'm good with everything, with the exception of Ramona. So my understanding, Caltrans does not allow us to put no truck route signs on the freeway.
Correct. I mean, we can pursue it,
Okay,
but we don't know.
but the statement is they do not allow it. So what are you trying to say? We're going to challenge them?
Well,
If I
that's-
may,
yeah.
my understanding from the previous city engineer, we did make an attempt to contact Caltrans. Caltrans did deny the request. They did, however, they did say that we have to go through a process through the state. We never pursued it because we had received that Caltrans would not support it.
Yeah, well, there's
So
no
we
there's no
can-
signs anywhere. I've never seen a no truck route on the freeway. My point is, you do have to allow these truck drivers some kind of access to get out of that truck route so they don't, or non-designated truck route so they don't get a ticket. And we have a gas station at the corner of Webster that serves for truck fueling and now is just got approved for a first reading on CNG and ENG and FNY and whatever all those different codes are. You know, and you're saying, I mean, I maybe we don't have to go all the way to Webster. I mean, excuse me, Indian. But I would support allowing, if the trucks did get off, which they are doing it now, like you said, at least have the opportunity to say, oops, I can't be here, but they can get gas and then get back on Webster down to follow the rest of the truck route that is allowed. Outside of that, I'm good with everything else that staff is presenting. I still see no one else in the queue, so.
Question, sorry, Mayor. I just want to ask John or Clara, if we were to contact Caltrans and through the state, how long would that take if we were to do that process for the signs?
Councilman Vallejo, I really don't have any idea at this time. I don't know how long it would take or, how they would actually consider it. We never approached Caltrans. In my experience, I have not done that. But again, if that's the direction of the council, we can make an attempt and pursue this.
Thank you.
All right, so there's nobody else, and we got some other things. What I'd like to say at this point is, Madam Consul, you've got direction to come back with some information to help answer Councilman Corona's questions. And Mr. City Engineer, if you would follow up on this, and I would also consult with our past city engineer as well about the state, Caltrans, whatever the course may be.
Yeah, we definitely, we check with our consultants as well. And then I have to look into it, how we can proceed with this.
Yeah.
I do need clarification, however, Mayor. So you explained that, you may be open, or council may be open to extending truck route beyond Webster.
So I'm the only one that commented on that.
Yeah.
Councilman Corona does not want to do what staff is suggesting. And because of my knowledge and understanding on Caltrans not authorizing signage, and we do have a lot of trucks that get out from Ramona, and that particular area is all industrial. And you have an industrial a gas station that offers fueling for diesel trucks, and then some CNG, and forgive me for all those other acronyms for the other ones. I'm assuming those are for trucks as well, too. So we have to, I mean, you can't make this a trap for these guys, in other words. So these and women, there's women truck drivers too. So you have to allow them access to get out, if they honestly made a mistake. Or if they know, because Google Maps tells them that they can fuel here. And it's a great spot. They have food, they can eat. Quite a different choices of food, but I'm just saying I'm not open to going all the way to Indian, even though that is all industrial going along. There is no residential along Ramona Expressway, so that AB 98 does not apply here at all. I'm just saying, as a compromise, I'm willing to go at least to Webster, just where they can utilize the fueling, eat there. I've gotten letters from truck drivers that don't even live in our city. They come from other parts of the state of California that come traveling down here, and they like to stop and eat there and get fuel, and they keep getting tickets because you can't even park in front of there. So anyway, I'm just saying, I like at least to go to Webster and give them opportunity to make it, like you said, right. They can't go north. They have to go south.
They can make a left correct. They can go south, yeah.
So how would they make access to that gas station?
Well,
Why can't they go left?
Because there's residential units just north of Ms. Alabasi's station. There are existing residential units. So
how do we, yeah, that's not fair. We got to work something out there.
the only way would be make a left.
Make a left and we can hang, so
Enter the site.
And they got to go into the site. That's the only reason why they're going to go in there.
Correct.
And the JPA, we put some really nice barriers that prevent trucks from going further north with, I don't know what you call it, but they build them out of steel and whatever, and they're barriers that overhang the roadway, and if you're a certain height of a truck, you can't pass through there, so it forces them to go into his place of business. And then they can go back out Webster and go down where they're, like you said, they have to. So look into that stuff.
So currently, they're actually permitted, with the signage that we have, to make a right on Webster. They can't go any further. So you want to see if you can investigate maybe trucks making a left, going north on Webster, at least to access the service station.
To this service station where they can fuel, yes, and eat, which is what they're doing now. Okay? And then your homework is, Madam Council, is to research the questions that Councilman Corona had. All right. Now I got Councilman Corona.
Yeah, I think you opened up, a couple things. With the gas station, is that for trucks? Is that for?
That's correct. That's a truck fueling station.
It is for trucks.
Yeah, they have
Okay.
a special canopies section.
Oh, just for
Now,
trucks,
they
okay.
have it now before his addition.
Okay. Is it possible to do a truck route going eastbound but not necessarily westbound? I mean, is that?
Then we have to look at the circulation and how we can divert the truck traffic
Right.
and see how
Well,
they can.
well, the only reason why I'm doing it just to be, I guess, sympathetic with the truck drivers who might make a mistake. Right? There's no signage. They get off of there. I don't think they want to go to the county land on Cajalco, and so they make that turn to go to Ramona Expressway. But then by the time they get there, then we have plenty of signage, and they decide, okay, do you want to go right? Because if we say that this is a truck route, we're giving the approval that's saying, yes, you are now welcome to go there. And I totally understand. I think it's a valid statement that the mayor said. There's industrial north and south of this. But we also need to recognize that just a couple miles down there, down Ramona Expressway, we have thousands of residents who use Ramona Expressway to get on and off the freeway. And I think one thing we've learned is that when we mix trucks with residential passenger vehicles, we're opening up our residents to oftentimes dangerous situations, dangerous and frustrating situations where they're stuck behind a wall for minutes and minutes and minutes just to get on the freeway to also be stuck behind the wall of trucks. So if we could research, only a truck route going eastbound all the way to Webster, I guess I'm open to that.
Okay, which they currently do.
We do have that.
Correct.
So they could go to Webster,
They can go to Webster, but they can only make a right.
but they could only make it right. Okay. So I'm okay with that. I'll just leave it like that.
And then maybe look into whether they can access the fuel station or.
Yeah. But like the mayor said, put a barrier right there where they can't go any further. Because, I'm afraid that they're going to use that as a shortcut just to go to, so.
Got
That's
three
it.
heads here nodding, so
Okay. Well, we'll take a look and see how we can implement that.
Okay, thank you.
I'll be more than happy to take it over to the JPA and show you what we did there. It can be done.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Any other Councilwoman Nava?
Thank you, Mayor. Is there any way, I agree with the comments that have been made about Webster, is there any way to make that temporary in the meantime if we're able to work with Caltrans on signage on the freeway? Just make it temporary in
As
the
far as
meantime?
having the designation.
As Ramona, because I am very apprehensive to mix passenger traffic with truck traffic, and Ramona is a really busy exit, and just busy in general. So if that could be maybe temporary, if we are able to find a solution, is to letting folks know that that's not a designated truck route.
We'll have to investigate that. I don't know how it would be legally,
Okay.
allow it and then all of a sudden take it off again. I don't know what provisions we have to
Got
make.
it.
If I may, Councilwoman, currently, the practice by policy, in talking to our police department, is that they're not issuing citations because of the, they have to be able to allow them to reroute. So in practice, that's already happening. So we can actually leave it as is now, and they're not issuing citations till after Webster, until we get confirmation from Caltrans that they're not going to allow us. Then that way, we don't have to put it on and then take it back And then so we can still continue that same practice, so no one gets dinged in the meantime before Webster.
Okay. And then I'm still really confused about the project of fueling station. If there's no access to it, how is that an approved site?
Well, that was approved in 2008, and before, because Ramona used to be a truck route until 2020 when we de-designated. So that's the reason why there's truck fueling there.
Okay.
So it was there before our truck route. We did the truck routes many years, way
But
before.
wouldn't that encourage the truck routes to continue using Ramona then?
You would
Or
think.
the folks to continue? Because it's a welcoming truck route, if you will, because of the amenities there. So it's just a question to throw out there. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Well, that was part of the discussion, Councilwoman Nava,
Yeah.
when we did that, and yet it still was voted in, so.
Yeah.
All right, you guys have some direction for now. We'll come back and have some more discussion. All right, moving on to 12C is consideration discussion to consider lowering the cannabis retail tax rate. This will be introduced by Director of Development Services, Mr. Kenneth Fung.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. This will be also presented by our Principal Planner, Rafael Garcia.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council. As you can recall, this item came before you on February 25th, just last month. Staff provided background regarding the discussion that was had regarding the consideration to potentially lowering a cannabis retail tax rate here in the city of Paris. During that meeting, a wide variety of items were discussed, including the retail tax rate and the impacts of potentially lowering the tax rate to a lower level. As part of that meeting, 3 speakers raised concerns about the city's tax rate of 10% of gross receipts. They objected to the presentation that the city's 10% gross receipt tax rate effectively equates to 7.75% of gross receipt as a comparison to other cities. They submitted something in writing, which was Senate Bill 1059, which prohibits cities from taxing based on gross receipts, which includes sales tax and excise tax. And that is effective January 1st, 2025. City Council continued the matter to tonight and provided staff with some additional time to research this item. Staff has now researched this bill and determined that the new legislation prohibits the inclusion of sales and use tax in the definition of gross receipts. All cities that impose cannabis taxes are required to remove excise and sales tax from the gross taxation methodology starting the beginning of this year. With this in mind, the city has been doing this since 2019, and it's important to note that the city is in compliance with this requirement. Staff has updated all the applicable tax rate survey tables and tax projections, removing all references to an effective tax rate to account for deductions of excise and sales tax. However, the figures provided were accurate. As a reminder, Tax did do a survey of a wide variety of cities in the region, total of 17, including the city of Paris. Most of the cities had a nominal tax rate methodology where they provide a tax rate that gets applied to the cannabis retail activity. 2 of the jurisdictions, County of Riverside and Lake Elsinore, had a deferring methodology that involved around providing a methodology that accounted for the square footage of the facility. Staff also provided a summary table outlining the cannabis retail revenue that has been received since 2019. As a reminder, the cannabis retail revenue that has been received has increased from 2019 to 2021. After peaking in 2021, there was a gradual decline to 2024. In 2019, there was a total of $781,383 associated with cannabis retail activity. It peaked at $5.66 million in 2021, and from there, there's been a gradual decrease with the decline in revenue to 3.22 in 2024. Now, staff also provided a projections table outlining the potential reductions based on staff's projections if city council was to move forward with a policy that would lead to a reduction in cannabis retail tax rates. Overall, just as an example, if the city council were to reduce the cannabis retail tax rate from 10 to 9%, that would result in a overall reduction of approximately $243,549 based on staff's projections. Now, staff is recommending that the city council consider, discuss, and provide direction on the potential reduction of a cannabis tax rate here in the future. That concludes the presentation. Staff is available to answer any questions that the members of the council or members in the audience may have pertaining to this item. Thank you.
Thank you, Rafael. Appreciate the recommendation. All right, it's opened up for discussion. But let's go ahead and call for public comment first, council, and then we can deliberate. Madam Clerk, do I have any requests to speak?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, council, anybody? Did you fill out a card, sir? Then I'm sorry. Go ahead, come on up.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. Joshua Nagar here. You know, I've been around when cannabis was invented here, and the city of Paris led the way. There was a lot of leadership that went down here. And I know at times, you know, it seemed like it was tense and terse, and we had to create things that didn't exist. And I've been reflecting over the past few weeks over what we did. And I want to tell you, staff, HDL, council, we did a lot. These laws here are leading the state. In 2019, Paris stopped taxing tax because it was unfair. The state just made it illegal for cities to do that 2 months ago. San Jacinto is just stopping right now. The city of Paris stopped double application fees years ago. The city of Paris stopped taxing non-cannabis goods like t-shirts and water bottles years ago. The city of Paris, when Nick Ortega was saying, hey, I can't afford it because I can't afford to grow here because you're taxing the whole premises rather than just the place where I grow the crops. And then you're taxing me again when I box my crops up. You're double taxing me. And I got to move my 200 employees, 300 employees across the street in the county. What did this council do, or elements of this council? They made smart decisions that weren't pro-cannabis. They were pro-business. And those 200-300 workers that Nick has stayed in Paris. And those are happy workers here in Paris, filled with pride in Paris, feeding their families by working in Paris. So for this council and this staff, upon reflection, you're leading the state at not just creating cannabis laws that didn't exist, pathways that had to be invented, but creating an equal opportunity for businesses that are lawful. And I wanted to take a step back and thank you. Kenneth, you're famous in the cannabis community. You really are. And I thank you so much. HDL is awesome. They let us do rebuttals. I have nothing but good things to say upon reflection. And I want to say, Kenneth, I blindsided you and Clara with that law last time, and the mayor told me to knock it off. So I apologize. And I want to really quickly tell you why I did it, because I read in your report that, hey, you know, the billboards, the law changed on billboards. The I-215 billboards used to be part of an exception. They're not anymore. And Maricela brought it to the attention of staff, and staff did some great work. And the work you found will now implicate that all those billboards have to change, and that's going to make life better for every city that borders the 215. And I thought your report didn't go far enough. I think you should do a resolution that says Maricela and the council find this to be what it is, the law change that we're going to make the whole I-215 better for Temecula, Menifee, Moreno Valley, you name it, and let Paris continue to lead. So please help any way you can.
Mayor, City Council, staff, make it short and sweet. Thank you. I appreciate all the work over the years, and it's time. I'm just looking for everything. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you, Stan. Huh? Stan, don't ask me to pronounce the last name. Stan the man. All right, Council, your turn. Anybody? Recommendations? Do you like staff's recommendations?
What was it?
Exactly. Councilman Corona?
I'll be brave. I'll go. Okay, so 2016, more than 8 years ago, our voters in Paris, they voted at that time to allow cannabis, but to tax it up to 10%. Now, at that time, we were one of the only cities around this entire area that allowed cannabis, and that, you know, whether you're a resident who voted for it or against it, I think it's safe to say that it did help reduce the number of illegal dispensaries and illegal selling of cannabis in our community. Me being someone that grew up in the city of Paris, along with my colleagues here, you know, I can tell you that people were still getting their cannabis, but they weren't sure if it was safe. They weren't sure if it was grown the right way, and they might have to go into a shady area to go get it. But people were still doing it. But now with the dispensaries, who I gotta be honest, we haven't heard a lot of negative things about them. They kind of run their thing and they do it quietly. And
Can we focus on the tax?
well, I guess it's kind of like all you know, a background of it. So I'm getting there, man. So at the time though, we were the only ones, and True, I lost my train of thought, man. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Okay, no, I got it. Okay.
So
at
your
that time,
tax rate
we
is?
we were the only city in the area that had it, and now we're not the only city. And you can see what the revenue has been going down. It's been going down, and it's going to continue to go lower because some of our dispensaries have actually gone out of business. And what they blame is the high tax rate, not just from the city of Paris, but from the state level as well too. So I think and unless we want to see them all gone and go back to the days of seeing dispensaries, illegal dispensaries in our communities, I think it's important that we do kind of listen to them and we give them a small reduction of for cannabis, and I think around the 7% might seem fair.
Is that a motion?
No, I'm willing to hear what my colleagues have to say.
All right, Councilman, or Mayor Pro Tem Rabb.
Yes, I'd like to thank all the speakers for coming out today. My main concern is even if we go down from the 10% to the 9%, that's looking at $243,000 missed in revenue each year. And I know we're entering our biennial budget process, and I'm just worried that if we go, it's kind of a sweet spot because I know we have been losing business, but at the same time, I think a lot of the cities, there seems to be sort of like a race to the bottom. Like we lower ours to 8% or 7%. Moreno Valley's at 8%, and then it just, let me do mine at 5%, and then we all end up collectively losing out on this revenue stream. We were one of the first cities to go that way. I know we've been discussing this off and on since about the last 2 or 3 years. My concern is that we're at a race to the bottom. I don't know about 7%. Maybe there's room for 9 or 8, depending on how much room we have in our budget with all the trade wars coming that affect other parts of our budget. I'm just kind of worried right now that if we go too far low, we're going to create a race to the bottom, and then we're also going to have a hole in our budget that we're not going to have the similar resources that we have coming in with certain point of sale taxes that may be paused with the tariffs and other items coming through. So I think right now we should just probably take this slow and see where we're at. And maybe if the dispensaries have an issue, maybe even lifting that cap we put on of 13 a few years back, and seeing if we can recruit more dispensaries here to kind of fill the gap of the ones that are leaving.
There's nobody else in the queue, so I'm looking for a motion or a suggestion or direction.
I just have a few comments to make. I actually want to thank Stan. I actually had a meeting with Stan the other day. I think it was yesterday. And I am someone who really thinks of both sides and be like, okay, like what does a city need? And then what do a lot of businesses need? And what I was thinking is, I agree with Pro Tem Rabb. This is a very tough predicament that we're in because it's a very tough time that we are in. Economically, we're not doing so good, and next year in 2026, the economy is projected to go worse into a tough deficit there. But when I started thinking about your business, to me, we have 6 cannabis stores here. You know, I feel like this is more of, it's just a very competitive market. And I believe that maybe the sales go down possibly due to because there's so many here and also in our surrounding cities. And I believe that I don't like, I do think taxes are, you know, pretty high, but I do believe that they're standard because I feel like this is more of an issue of we're just oversaturated by them. And I just would like to let everyone know that I am someone who really focuses on the city of Paris needs. And I believe that lowering the taxes will not really generate more customers. I just believe that it will be more of a loss for us when this is a very tough time. I also believe that we should be thinking of the long-term impacts of what this decision is going to be. I do think we should ask ourselves whether this aligns with the vision for Paris. And I do also believe that I want to really focus on attracting businesses that really uplift the community to get more higher paying jobs. And I do get a little bit upset kind of knowing that a lot of cannabis industry stores, they really geared towards more the lower income communities. And the lower income communities, it's majority Latino base or African American race. And I do believe that does cause a little bit more of a bad picture for the students that we are raising here. I don't believe we should lower it down. I do believe sticking to 10 for now. But what I do want to suggest is I've been told that the cannabis industry has requested the lowering of the tax rate, I believe 5 or 6 years ago. I do believe that's very long. I believe that we should wait until other developments that we have coming up, probably other things that we have in the pipeline to get more money. I do believe if we can come back to this maybe like next year or maybe by 2027, I think maybe we can probably do that's something that is more of a compromise. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Councilman Corona?
No, I'm definitely glad I did have a chance to hear my colleagues. I do understand it. I know we've always been saying I think we need to talk about it next year, and then so we're bringing it up. I understand we do have our budget. I definitely appreciate Mayor Pro Tem Rab's comments on it seems like we're doing a race to the bottom, and it feels like that. But I think when we started, at the most we've had was what 12 dispensaries or.
That sounds right.
And now we're at 6.
Oh, 7.
7. So I feel like either way we're gonna get a race to the bottom. Now I totally understand if we reduce it by 1%, that's a loss of $200,000+. But if we look at the trend, we're still losing money. I mean, we're gonna continue to lose money. So that's always been my concern. I'm definitely agreeable to kind of meet in the middle, maybe 8%, if possible. But I think the mayor hasn't spoke yet, so
Yeah.
waiting to hear from him.
Well, my usual spiel is and being in law enforcement, I don't support this at all. I voted no back in 2018 or 16, but it is a business, so I will work with my colleagues here, what you guys decide to do. But at this point, the only other comment I would have to say is I do not agree to open up to more dispensaries. We had a limit of 14 or 16. Yeah, I don't, that's not the answer, is to bring in more. That's just that brings in the black market even more. So I don't concur with that. But anyway, at this point, I'm looking for someone to make a suggestion as to what percentage you'd like to see.
I'd like to make a motion to stick with the current taxing rate at 10%.
Okay, is there a second?
I second.
All right. Any more discussion? If not, we'll call for that vote.
Vallejo, Nava, Rab, yes. Corona, Vargas, no.
All right, thank you very much. Item 13 is council communications. Councilwoman Vallejo.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to let everyone know that Councilmember Corona and I had our first school liaison committee meeting with a couple of superintendents and staff, and I would like to say that I believe that it went well. I think it's always such a great idea to keep on talking to our school leaders consistently, because there's a lot of programs that we either don't know about that we could partnership in. And I am very excited to be in this committee because I did have a few suggestions for city staff. And I do believe that if we can cater to students who have any type of disability, that we can probably try to help them. I do know that there's a state grant for it that maybe we can try to implement too. It is a workability grant or a work contract where students with disability can work for a business and they can also receive money. And I feel like that's something that we can cater to, have more programs for them, and that would help us to become more inclusive. And I would encourage everyone to also attend all the school events that we have coming up. I don't know if some of you guys have known, but I was a theater kid at Paris High, so I'm a huge theater fan. And I would like to let everybody know too that Paris High School, that they are doing a Mean Girls musical this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I go to all of their plays, and it's beautiful. So if you guys all have an opportunity to go, I think it starts at 7 p.m. Please go, because they are amazing, phenomenal actors, and they are part of our community. And that's something that I want to just uplift more about the community, about arts. And since April is the also the arts program proclamation, that's something that we should definitely be working on. And I believe also, if anyone has any feedback that you would like to give us regarding more initiatives that you think that we should focus on as a city, please, I am more open for city staff and pretty much all residents to come, because your ideas will help us align to what the community deserves and need. I know I also want to give a shout out to, let me find her name because I forgot her name. I also want to give a shout out to Danica Nelson, who is our animal control officer, because she did give me some ideas on how we can do to help the community. So if any other staff members would like to think of anything more to see how we can become more engaging, I think that would help too. And what I also want to ask for staff members is there any way that we can add a video on all of our social media apps after our city council meeting to just write down the bullet points of things that happened in our council meetings? Because what I've noticed is a lot of residents, they're not really aware, or they don't want to engage with what we do because it's a lot of terminology that they don't know and it's really long. But I do think it's up to us as city and staff members to really get to the community, and we have to show them, and we have to kind of give them all the information just so they're aware. So if there's any way that we can do that, to just have like the highlights that have been going on for every council meeting and just post it online, I think that would be very beneficial for the community to learn and to understand more about how the city council does its job. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Just to give you a heads up, the intern in our office has already came to me with that idea, so he's gonna be working on stuff, and he'll follow up with the city manager as well. All right, Councilman Corona.
Thank you, Mayor. I did attend the National League of Cities conference with the mayor about 2 weeks ago in Washington, D.C. We were there to get firsthand information on the current situation, and to also express our concerns to our elected official, to our higher elected officials with regarding the grants and funding for our own projects and prioritizing on public safety. Although we all know that federal funding is being reduced, it's important that we continue to stress the importance of federal funding and going back to the communities who help to fund our federal budget. This similar sentiment was also shared by the thousands of cities that were represented as well too. I did learn about ways that we can help address some of the housing situation here in the city of Paris, and I did forward that to our staff as well. Copper Creek Park, wow. I mean, that was better than what I imagined. And I was there from the inception of doing it, and we would see it on maps, and we would see pictures of what it's going to look like and renditions. But I mean, just seeing a person, you know, all 5 of the council members were over there, and the mayor was there too. And you know, just seeing the residents just going out there. I'm not just talking about that day. I went there last night, and it was packed. I mean, it was. I don't think it was big enough. Jeez, I mean, there's just kids playing all over, and they're skating, and they're playing soccer and basketball, and people are just walking around. And keep in mind, it's a park, and I didn't mention this, so I'll be brief. It's a park that some residents at one time said, you know what, just tear it down, put houses there, because we're tired of it. It did bring some challenges, it did bring us some problems, but I'm so glad that we stayed focused and we brought that park back to life, and I look forward to the residents there taking care of it. I know our staff's been doing a great job, and we keep bringing it up, but the Motlog Scholarship, deadline's coming up soon. And so far, I believe we only have one completed application. One application for $5,000. You know, and there's 6 of them?
Yep.
6 awards. So only one that we received for Orange Vista. Nobody has turned in an application for Paris High. Nobody turned it in for Heritage High. Nobody turned it in for Rancho Verde. And only one for Orange Vista. And no community college transfer students turned in an application. So if you know a high school senior or someone that's going to be transferring and they're going to be majoring in science or engineering, please have them take the time and just fill out the application. Thank you. That's all the comments for me.
Thank you, Councilwoman Nava.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to start off by thanking our staff for doing a phenomenal job on all the gardens. You all have been so busy, and just appreciate the collaboration you've fostered with our schools. They're beautiful, and it's so cute to see the kids get involved and learn all about that. So thank you so much. It's such an important component. And then also, as was mentioned by council, I also participated in the Copper Creek grand opening, and it was so amazing to see so many community participate and be involved in that, and then just actively using our parks. I know I took my daughter to play, and if you have not been to it, I highly recommend you check it out. There's playground activities from kids young to older, and the walking and the mature trees and the really green grass. It's just phenomenal, and along with the mural. So if you have not been, I highly, highly encourage you to go and take part of that and make some fond memories there. And then I had the opportunity to be a speaker at MSJC. They've invited me again for their Women's Empowerment event. And then I also had the opportunity to attend Supervisor Medina's women's event along with our mayor. And so along with that, I just like to wish all the women a very happy Women's History Month. And those are all my comments. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. As mentioned by my colleagues, I had the opportunity to attend the Copper Creek grand reopening and renovation this past Thursday. It was amazing how well it just turned, the whole project turned out, especially getting rid of that irrigation ditch in the middle of the park. It basically opened up the whole entire park. During the course of the renovation, myself, along with Councilwoman Nava, we were both, numerous residents reached out to us regarding potentially installing a crosswalk so the residents on north of Citrus can gain access to the park, because currently they either have to go over to Paris Boulevard to the stop sign, I think, or go down to, I believe it's Redlands is the next street to cross the street safely. So I want to thank staff. They're diligently working to resolve those issues, to get a crosswalk once we get funding, and we are taking into your consideration. Just on that note, I just want to reiterate, when we do get the crosswalk, if we can get the overhang crosswalk. The overhang crosswalk is similar to the crosswalk where the Paris Valley Trail is on Ryder. There's an overhang where cars can see it. It's also an overhang crosswalk button, I believe, at Orange and the Paris Valley Trail. It differentiates from the crosswalks that are on Paris Boulevard, the ones that are by Temple Baptist, and then further down on Second Street where it's simply just a sign. It's easier for drivers to miss that versus the overhang. So if we can go with the overhang, that would really protect pedestrians in that sense. I'd ask the mayor if we could close the meeting in memory of Jordan Wilson. Jordan Wilson was a Orange Vista High School student who passed away February 15th. I had the opportunity to attend his homegoing memorial service this past Tuesday, March 18th. Hundreds of people there, hundreds of students from Orange Vista High School, and they really impressed upon me the kind of young man Jordan was. They were all the young men who came, they were well-spoken. A few of them actually mentioned that, life is short. And these are 16, 17-year-old boys mentioning that. So it was a well-attended service, and my thoughts and prayers go out to the Wilson family, Dale and Nadine Wilson, who've lived in Parrish for over 12 years. Their sons, Jaron, and I believe Jason, who is Jordan's twin. My thoughts and prayers go out to them. If we can just close in his memory today, and just want to keep praying for the Wilson family and the Orange Vista family. Thank you.
Sure, thank you. I'm glad you mentioned about that crosswalk, because we did that. I had this engineering do the same over at Paragon Park, and when you have amenities like that, and it's driving people there, it's not safe. So we definitely got to, and that's a good thing doing that crossing as we do for our trails. That really gets their attention. All right, Chick-fil-A Lunch with a Cop, I went to that. That was a good event. A lot of people showed up. March 1st, we had our Magic Dreamers Market ribbon cutting. That's a young lady it's like a, like a swap meet type thing, but in food. And she's hopefully gonna, like a farmer's market, she's trying to get the vegetables in there too as well, but a lot of great vendors, and she always has a theme. That theme was Lightning McQueen, the car, and anyway, yeah, I try to drive it, but it was really good. And she had her first session, she had 50 vendors, and all 50 showed up. It was really nice. And she's doing another one. God, I wish I had wrote the date. She was at our last mixer with the chamber. Is it 26th of April? Yeah, and I'm sorry, and this is at Orange Vista High School front parking lot. So, and we have a young lady who makes sourdough bread. Lives here in Paris. She's awesome. Stuff's good. I'm trying to get her at the health fair. Remind me about her, okay? All right, Read Across America. I don't know if any of you got opportunities to go to the schools. I did a couple of them. March 5th, RC, Riverside County Office of Education, State of the Education. I went with Mr. Bugtie, and I went there. He's still here? Malcolm mentioned the congressional conference. I can't stress how it's important for us to go follow up with our higher ups and our legislators and trying to get, Malcolm said there was the theme for this year was we don't know. And it's true, they just, they did not know everywhere we went, but it was still well worth it to go. Ribbon cutting for the gardens was mentioned. I did go to Paris Head Start and Early Start hosted their first spring festivals. Just so you know, I've been going to school things for the last 8 years. March 15th, take a hike with your dog. Oh my God, that was a great event. A lot of people showed up, and what's really more amazing, and I learned that with when we opened up our dog park, is that what you call them? The dogs do not fight in public. They all got along, and at this event, there was no attacks, no nothing. They all having a good old time. It's when I guess you're solo by yourself walking down the street with your owner, and then they see someone, then they get defensive. But when you put a bunch of dogs together in an event, they were just having a good old time. I think there was one little chihuahua that was acting bad, but no, it wasn't my State of the Student of the Month event. I went to the last one again. I'm able to go to the Movell and the Val Verde one more often than our Paris and Menifee Valley because of my committees. Race to the Finish Line. That was a great event for Orange Vista High School, acknowledging all the seniors who completed all their work for college. They filled in their FAFSA. I got them some help with some donations for their food. They had Habit burgers. They were offering prizes, giving kids stuff for their dorm, and even I think a refrigerator and rice makers and you name it. Copper Creek, you guys talked. Chamber Mixer at the Charlie Apartments. Women of Distinction, that was Paris Valley Historical and Museum Association Annual Installation of Officers and Directors. We just had that this past Saturday or Sunday. I went there. I always go there every year, and I do their swearing in for their oaths, so that's always a good event. And Councilman Corona already did the statement about the Motley Scholarship, so I'm not going to reiterate that, but it's just a reminder. It's $5,000, guys. All right, item 14, City Manager's Report. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't put on my notes. I have a request from our city clerk. She would like to make a comment.
Thank you, Mayor. The City Clerk's Office is excited to announce that City Council meetings agendas will now be available in Spanish to better serve our community. Para obtener más información, vea el video que hemos preparado con más detalles. Please play the video. Hola, soy Nancy Salazar, secretaria municipal de la ciudad de Perris. Estamos orgullosos de anunciar que las agendas de las juntas del Consejo Municipal ahora están disponibles en español. Este es un paso importante para que el gobierno local sea más accesible, transparente e inclusivo para todos en nuestra comunidad. Al ofrecer agendas bilingües, aseguramos que más residentes puedan entender, participar y mantenerse informados sobre las decisiones que dan forma a nuestra ciudad. Puede encontrar las agendas en inglés y en español visitando el sitio web www.cityofparis.org. Gracias por mantenerse informado y por ayudarnos a construir una ciudad más fuerte y conectada.
Kudos to our city clerk. I think that was her first PSA, so very well done. All right, city manager's report. I just demoted you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. The 11th Annual Health Fair will take place on Saturday, April 5th. It'll also include a 5K color run in partnership with Paris Elementary School District and Paris Union High School District. Also, we invite the community to join the Paris Theater Community Engagement Workshop, which will take place tomorrow night at 5 p.m. We are seeking input from the community in order to come up with various options for the revitalization of the Paris Theater. And last but not least, we want to thank Al Sharon Winder for their generous sponsorship and donation of $5,000 to the Motla Scholarship Foundation. So thank you, Al Sharon Winder. And that concludes my report.
All right, very good. Thank you. Item 15 is our adjournment. Thank you, everybody, for coming out this evening. And to all our speakers, it's a little bit longer than we normally do, but we do our best to get out quickly. Again, we are going to be adjourning in memory of Jordan Wilson, who tragically passed away on February 15th. Our prayers and thoughts go out to his family. Thank you, everybody.